This is the Louie Bellina Show, Thursday lunchtime, thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. And I think it was Tuesday. You know, more than a day ago gets pretty much lost of time for me. Maybe it was Thursday. Maybe it was, today's Thursday. Tuesday, I don't know. I had Rudy's earlier this week, and I just got a pound of ribs, and I called it good. Love me some Rudy's Barbecue. Thursday's lunchtime, we hang out with, who do we hang out with?
He is an artist whose canvas is the printed page. A legendary wordsmith and scribe. The English language bows down to his powers. He is the Texas Sports Writer of the Year from the Austin American-Statesman, Cedric Golden.
He is. Cedric Golden joins us on the D4 Land Services Hotline. Cedric, how's your world? What are you up to, dude? Final weekend, college baseball. Let's do this.
Lots going on. Baseball, track, softball, you name it. It's called the spring, man.
Where are they putting you? Like, are you out at Aggie? They're all home. Softball's home, baseball home. Are you just basically parking on campus and sleeping in the car?
Man, it sure feels like it, Lou. I'm going to do baseball tonight. They start with a 3-game set against Missouri, and then tomorrow softball starts with Wagner. I'll do that one, and then Saturday will be either baseball again, softball again, or track. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, I wanted to start in the baseball universe because final weekend, and I'm not going to say the Longhorns are struggling. That's completely unfair, but you want to build momentum, and they did struggle in Knoxville. I know I read a lot of online type stuff, take it for what it's worth, but people are not happy with their performance. They lost 2 out of 3, which 2 out of 3 on the road in the SEC is not uncommon. But to get Mizzou, who have 5 players out, and it's Mizzou, they just happen to be the worst team in the SEC, that is a chance to finish the year strong, head into the postseason strong.
Oh, absolutely, Lou. And when you have I guess Missouri is the ultimate slump buster. If Texas has only lost 2 series all year, one to A&M and one to Tennessee. So if ever there was a team that you needed to come in to get some momentum going for the postseason, it would be the Missouri Tigers, who have just had the worst baseball season probably in the history of that school.
Yeah, they did. So, I mean, the mission is simple, right? And it's funny, too, because you don't ever want to say sweep. In SEC baseball, sweep is like a dirty word, but really it's sweep Mizzou. Win 3 straight. I mean, maybe with A&M having not one single starting pitcher for Mississippi State, just sweep Mizzou. Even if A&M takes 2 out of 3, take second, enjoy the double bye in the SEC tournament, get some rest in, and get ready for Selection Sunday.
That's where I am with it, Lou. And if you get that momentum going, get some guys healthy, and winning is good habits, and you just got to win 3 games against a really bad team, and Texas is home, and they haven't lost that many games at home. It should be the right tonic to get them ready for the conference tournament. And I, personally, Lou, I'm not a big subscriber to going all in to win the conference tournament. That doesn't do it for me, because
Amen.
Does it really mean anything if you already know you're a top 8? I don't think it does.
When you know that the committee is open to maneuvering anyway, what's the difference between you being 3 or 5 when the committee will move you 3 or 5, depending on whatever narrative they want for the postseason?
And that's where I am, because the committee's going to do what the committee's going to do anyway. And so instead of wasting arms, and guys that might be, this is the time of year where they get what they call that dead arm, Lou, because there's so much strain on the shoulder and the elbow, and you might be losing some velocity. This is the time when you sit the guys down. You let them throw a little bit, but you don't run them out there in, I guess, is it Hoover this year? You don't run them out there in Hoover and throw 90 pitches when they can be getting ready for a game that's going to mean something a week later. So the best of the best are not gonna worry about whether or not they win or lose. Of course, the bats are different. You want guys that are struggling to get some live at bats. But when it comes to the pitchers, you got to be more careful with them. And I think Max Weiner knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And again, Longhorns are 4 in the RPI, and almost, unless they sweep Missouri, they might drop by taking 2 out of 3. Missouri's just so bad. That's one of those you win and you could still lose because it's Mizzou. And hey, sweep Mizzou. Don't even show up to Hoover. Tell them the plane never took off, and call it good for Longhorn baseball. We already talked about this element, but a quick recap. And they end up a national seed, not SEC champs. What's the grade on the season? Regular season grade.
It's a solid B. It's a solid B. We got to understand where they play. The SEC is a real minefield, and you're not going to always win this league. But when you're top 3 or 4 in that league, you've had a good season, and they've had some injuries, but they're not major injuries. So unlike last year, which kind of derailed their championship hopes, I think it's a solid B because they've got live arms. They've got 2 of the best. They've got arguably the best 1-2 punch in the sport, in Aiden Robbins and Travis Tenney. I know the Aggies will go Graham Grahovac and Sorrell. I don't blame them, but you got star power on offense. You got live arms, and your defense is better than it's been. So I will give them a solid B, albeit they can be had because the bottom of the lineup hasn't produced the way Schloss would have liked.
So, okay, what would have got them the A grade? Because they're going to beat Mizzou. I'll stand, I put myself out there on that prediction. And they'll finish, 8-2 on SEC series? So would they have had to have won the regular season A? Is that it? Is that the only thing that stopped an A grade?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to win. You get A for me if you win the league. I don't give out A's if you finish second or third, but a B is great. But if you win the league, you get an A. Yeah, Georgia gets an A in my book.
Okay, it's just fair enough. I can see where he can lose a whole letter grade, and so only one team gets an A, and that's the champion. And I kind of like hardcore grading like that. I miss the good old days when the grades meant something. Over to the softball edition, and it's kind of weird when you're like the defending national champs, right? How do you grade anything until the postseason starts up again?
Yeah, I know. And for Texas, for softball, the grading curve is a lot bigger because they won the championship, and so you have to grade them on a bigger curve. They didn't win the conference tournament, but they did win the regular season. Yeah, but you got, and they were number 1, so you got to give them an A. You got to give them an A on that. They won the conference tournament. And you got to give them an A. They're the defending champions. They're arguably better than they were last year, pitching wise. Katie Stewart, their first baseman, has 25 bombs, Lou. She is a National Player of the Year candidate. So it's definitely an A. And if you're interested, we had Mike White, the coach, on the podcast this week.
Tell people about the podcast. Tell them where they can get it because people love the A&M Texas softball rivalry. Heck yeah. Tell everybody.
So Mike White, the softball coach, is on the On Second Thought podcast. You can get it Spotify, Google, Yahoo, wherever you get your podcasts. And he was on, and we talked about the regional coming up, and we also talked about the potential for a Texas A&M showdown in the Super Regionals. So, of course, he didn't go too deep into that because there's a lot of softball to be played, but it was a good conversation. Check it out.
And it's wait a minute, what's the name of the podcast again?
On Second Thought.
See, I know that. I just want trying to help other people, get the hang of this. But you've been doing On Second Thought for how long?
For a decade. Kirk Bowles and I have been doing it for a decade, and we have had a blast doing it. He's with the Houston Chronicle now, and but we were able, when the Hearst bought the Statesman and the Chronicle, we were both able to keep doing the pod, and that's been a blessing. So yeah, had a good time this week.
Available everywhere, anywhere I get my podcast, like the Apple Store, Google Play, Spotify, everywhere?
Everywhere you get it. Just call it up. Also on YouTube. If you want to get it for free really fast, go to YouTube and search for On Second Thought Statesman, because there's a lot of On Second Thought podcasts for some reason. But yeah, and it's archived. You can listen to all the other episodes and watch too, because we do it on video.
On Second Thought podcast, YouTube, On Second Thought, everywhere you get your podcasts. Again, if you want to get ready for the A&M Texas Super, because it's going to happen. You know, my thought on that, it'll, from the Aggie perspective, a lot of A&M fans are tired of it. But if you're a Texas softball fan, you have to be sick and tired of it too, because I think A&M plays Texas as hard as anyone plays Texas, because I think that the A&M hitting coach understands Tegan Cavan better than anyone else. And A&M hits, if you took her stats against A&M and compared them to her normal stats, A&M hits Tegan Cavan better than any other team in the country, which makes a best of three harder for Texas than any other series they play.
Yeah, because if somebody can hit your ace, I mean, and not only does that cause a ripple effect, but it's worrying, especially to the Tegan herself. She's been nailed against most everybody else, but the Aggies have hit her well, and they showed last year that they're not afraid to come into Austin and make some noise. So that's the one I've got circled, and I just hope those teams take care of business. I know the A&M has got a potential road bump with Arizona State in their regional, so they're 41-16. That's not going to be an easy game.
No, they're 41-16, and they had to take down Texas Tech and Arizona. Like their Big 12 tournament run, they work. Now, was it a 1 week thing or we'll see. I mean, it's going to take place, starts tomorrow, right? But Arizona State's legit. No Aggie softball fan should make the mistake of thinking they got a cakewalk regional. Quite the opposite. Arizona State's legit. I'm excited about that. But A&M Texas Super, third time in 4 years. Again, not fair to either team, and that's the mistake some make. It's not just, A&M. No, neither team wants this. It's too brutal for Texas, who's earned a 2 seed, and they keep getting A&M.
And and some of that is geography. The committee sometimes will do that to storylines or storylines, Lou. And I'm not mad at that. I love a good storyline. And sometimes the committee wants to give us what we want. And if they're not going to meet in the College World Series, which wouldn't it be great if they were both there? I don't like the 2 birds with 1 stone thing. I would love to see them meet in Oklahoma City, but you know what? To have them meet potentially here in our state, we'll take it, Lou. That's what it's all about.
OKC rarely needs more juice or storylines, but A&M Texas in the College World Series, oh, yes, please. And in the Austin Regional, I know a lot of Aggies probably haven't looked at it too closely. Texas Baylor's a bit of a storyline, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Anytime Baylor gets a chance to take out Texas, they're going to be ramped up. But, they get Wisconsin at noon tomorrow. And if I get my stuff done, I'm gonna roll by there just to get a look, because I haven't seen Baylor softball, and maybe they give me a look at what Texas might be up against.
Who doesn't hate Baylor? Aggies hate Baylor's. Longhorn hates Baylor. Red Raiders hate Baylor. Houston Cougars hate Baylor's. UTSA hates Baylor. Like, Baylor's universally hated throughout the state.
No one rips Baylor like Louie Bellina rips Baylor.
I thought everybody rips Baylor. I thought.
But you do it the best, Lou. No one rips them like you. You have that holster. You have that magazine is locked in, and you got a full metal jacket ready for those Bears.
UCLA Bruins hate Baylor. Wisconsin Badgers hate Baylor. Everybody hates Baylor. I think so.
That's the part that makes me laugh the most, Lou, because people go out of their way to rip Baylor if they can, but the people that hate Baylor the most are inside our state. You can't. You can say UCLA or whatever, but people like in Lubbock and College Station in Austin, they hold a special disdain for the Baylor Bears. I never understood it, because I'm kind of not in that fray, but it's kind of fun to watch.
When the basketball coach frames the dead basketball player as a drug dealer to cover up impermissible benefits, it's pure evil. That's my only point. The Dave Bliss days. It's things like that. And then the football coach.
The Art Brown saga.
Yeah. And then David Koresh. He had nothing to do at Baylor, but it was Waco, so I counted.
You can't drop a David Koresh bomb on it. Come on, Lou.
It's all the same soil, man. It's something in the soil there.
You can't drop it. You can't drop the Branch Davidian bomb on the Bellina show. Come on, Lou. Come on.
How about we take a timeout? We can come back and talk some Aggies now. How's that?
Yes, sir.
Cedric Golden, whether he wants to or not, hangs out with me Thursdays on the D4 Land Services hotline. This is the Louie Bellina Show. It is Thursday on the Zone.
Home on the road or Omaha. You can hear Aggie baseball on the Zone.
The Louie Bellina Show Thursday edition. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio because it's comfortable and it's air conditioned. Low cost, full service, best of all local. That is Charles Schwab. How's that best of all local? Isn't it like Charles Schwab, New York or LA? No, we got Mark Sim, and he's right here in College Station, our local Charles Schwab agent representative. Dude, you can find him online at schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC. We're rejoined. Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Cedric, Longhorn Baseball played Mississippi State 2 weeks ago. Aggie Baseball plays Mississippi State tonight, Friday, and Saturday. Can you give us a Bulldog scouting report? Anything you remember? Anything that we Aggies should know?
Man, I covered one game and of those three, and Mississippi State they've got power up and down the lineup. I'm just trying to think of a couple of names, but they've got power up and down the lineup, and I'm trying to think, which one did I cover, Lou? I want to say it was the Saturday game, and Texas took 2 out of 3. I'm drawing a blank on
Texas took 2 out of 3 from Mississippi State. They took the Friday game 3-1, classic Friday night. Lost the game you went to on Saturday 7-4, and then just bombed away on Sunday to take the series 11-6.
Oh, that was that Sunday game. I did watch it from home. They had that big 9-run fourth inning, I believe, and Mississippi State just ran out of pitching. I remember that, and Texas jumped on them. But that's all I really remember, Lou.
No, look, I know the beat writer life where you're covering so many things that once that information is used, a lot of times it goes to the side.
Oh yeah, and if I was the beat writer, I would have covered 3. I would have covered them all, and I'd probably have a better recollection of the game. But I just remember them having some big time
Bombers
offense at the punch, and I think the 9-hole hitter hit a grand slam against Texas on Saturday.
So help me understand something. Why did Sark jump in on the Ole Miss bombs away this week? I get Lane Kiffin believes in scorched earth, but Sark goes to USA Today, right, and says all you have to do is take basket weaving and you can get an Ole Miss degree? Where did that come from?
Well, I don't know. And that's not really like him to go scorched earth like that. He usually picks his words carefully. But that thing went viral, and for all the right reasons. You just don't. I mean, what do you get out of that? And saying we take 50% of the athletes, and then they have to get a real degree. And you know what? That's great. That's great. But I just don't understand what benefit it does by ripping an opponent or ripping a school, a program that's playing by the rules that are there. And the spring meetings are coming up in Destin in a couple of weeks, and I'll be out there with Kirk Bosen, OB, and that's one of the first things I'm going to ask him. And I know he's speaking at the Touchdown Club this weekend. We're sending someone else to that, so I'm sure he'll address it. But, it boggled my mind that he would say that on the record.
It doesn't help them win a game. It's not going to get them more NIL money. It's not going to help a high school recruit go, oh, well, I'm not going to go work for my degree. It doesn't help them in the transfer portal. I always think of it in those terms when I'm trying to figure out motivation, right? How does it help me financially? How does it help me gain an edge in recruiting? That's all I ever look at when I look at coaching motivation, right? I don't see how that statement is this going to help him recruit heads up with Ole Miss? Like, I didn't see one. I couldn't come up with one way this was helpful for Texas football or him at all.
And Lou, it wasn't a chest move. It wasn't a chest move. I could say because I looked at it. I go, where is the play here? Where's the benefit here? And Lou, I couldn't come up with it. And so I'll be interested to see what he says because it just didn't make any sense. He's a smart guy. Don't get me wrong. Sarkisian is very bright and he's very measured in his answers. And I think it was Matt Hayes. The interview was Matt Hayes, one of the best out there. So I don't think Matt did anything that was, was it on the record, off the record? If Matt Hayes quoted him, I can 99% guarantee you it was on the record. Because I think Sark would have come out and said something by now. But I would love to know why he said that because I just don't see the benefit in calling out an opponent in the SEC, especially one that you got to play this fall.
And I get the Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin always does what he wants to, and he always talks. Everything's personal. I think he's pissed at Ole Miss because they did not let him coach the postseason under his terms. So I think he has an all-out assault against Ole Miss, and it will continue for years to come. So he's taking shots at Ole Miss because they didn't play by his rules. He fully thought they'd give him everything he wanted, including coaching while recruiting the whole roster with the coaching staff recruiting. He really thought so. And when Ole Miss took a stance against him, it became personal. I get everything he's doing.
I do too. I understand because it's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin keeps score. Lane Kiffin holds grudges. Lane Kiffin thought he should have been coaching in the championship game. He thought he should have been in that game. So it's fair. But you know what, Lane Kiffin, you decided to take the LSU job, and when you take that job, you are no longer you're no longer the head coach at Ole Miss, and you took a job with a border rival. So that's the cost of doing business. But the Sarkisian one, that's the one that I'm still scratching my head about, Luke.
Hey, Cedric, before I let you go, a quick kind of NFL question. We talk sometimes. Does anybody do it better than the NFL with their offseason? I look at this schedule release tease week leading up to the actual schedule release party. Nobody, and I'm going to just say that, nobody, no other three leagues combined does it close to the NFL with their offseason.
No, they stay in the news. They somehow figure out how to stay in the news, releasing the foreign, the international game schedule, keeping people excited about the NFL. The fact that we're talking about it after the draft, there's still news being broken. No one does it better than that league, and while we all love college football, we love the NBA, we love college baseball and all of that. The NFL is the premier league, and they've got the premier planners. They've just got the whole thing on lock, and you got to give them that respect. We're all here for it. We love sports in general, but if you're running a league, and I don't agree with everything that league does, but I don't think there's any question that is the most well-run league on earth.
Yeah, their offseason is brilliant. So let me ask, as a Houston Texans fan, which, I'm Steelers for life, right? But if I'm a Houston Texans fan, it got leaked this morning that the Christmas Eve game, because remember, the NFL owns Christmas Day with the triple header, but now they do a Christmas Eve game, because what's better than Christmas Day? It's Christmas Eve and the day after, because can't get enough. But now it was leaked that the Texans were at Philly, I think it is, Christmas Eve. So am I as a Texans fan, yay, now my Christmas Eve is taken over? Or am I supposed to be like, no, I thought I had family? What's my reaction?
These guys, you got to think, though, these guys, they only work 6 months out of the year. They got to stay in shape, Lou, but I'm not going to feel sorry for guys that are working on Christmas Eve when they only work half the year. And so, you think about Steph Curry. He's worked every Christmas or Christmas Eve for the last 10 years. Those leagues they understand, and the NBA is well run. NBA gives the NFL a run for his money.
field is tremendous. But those guys understand that they're an entertainment business, and there are never more eyeballs on a screen than on the weekend of Christmas when everybody is around family. So that's just one of those things. If that's the worst thing that's going to happen to the Houston Texans this year, and I predict that it's not, because if you're re-signing C.J. Stroud, you're not going to be very good, then they'll be okay.
Heck, I was thinking of the fan perspective, not even the player, but as a fan now on Christmas Eve, I can't go out. I can't travel. I got to watch them play the Eagles.
Nothing's open on Christmas Eve. Lou, where you going?
Bars, man. Look, I have traveled many a Christmas Eve.
Not everyone's a degenerate drinker like you, Lou. There are people like me that'll drink an iced tea and watch the Houston Texans get beat by 3 touchdowns at the link. I'm there for it.
Man, see, that's why I love you, right? You give me perspective on all this. Not everyone's a degenerate like me. That's my Christmas quote for the rest of my life now.
I love it, man. I love it.
Cedric, go be awesome. Enjoy, our final embers of the sports season, because, we'll get to chill for a couple of months come June, July, but I love the spring. I love these moments like this. With the final weekend baseball, we've started the postseason softball here in Aggieland. We've got other sports that are absolutely crushing it too. Thank you always, brother. Be awesome.
Take care, bro.
Later. Cedric Golden of the Austin American Statesman on the D4 Land Services hotline. And look, go check out everything they do. Everything? ? Forestry, mulching, pond construction, fix your land, clear your land, custom metal buildings from the ground up. They do land excavation. Check it all out at d4landservices.com. When we return, Bubba Bush of BVMMA and Fitness. Also, your final about 20 minutes to text and get registered for a chance to win a $100 gift card to Honey Baked Ham. When you text, you're like entered. I draw 2 names at the end of the day. Text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. Light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox now.
Sign up for the Zone newsletter and always be in the know about that day's guest lineup, where and when your favorite team plays, and more. Sign up at zone1150.com.
I love me some John Mellencamp, some John Cougar Mellencamp, some Johnny Cougar. Gonna go see him August at the Woodlands. He ain't toured in a long time. Big fan of his work. It is the Louie Bellina Show. We're winding down on a Thursday. Coming up, Astros baseball pregame joined in progress. Astros wrapping up their 4-game series with the Seattle Mariners. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer. Go Stros! Oh, they are torturing and killing me so far this year. We're joined now. It's been a while. I think it's been like 3-4 months. I lose track after a while. Joined now on the D4 Land Services hotline. Great friend of mine, great friend of our community, talking about Bubba Bush of BVMMA and Fitness. Bubba, how are you, bro?
You're the man. You missed me more than I deserve. I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, come on now. You're rounding down.
Never been on a Thursday. Never on a Thursday.
You've been on various days of the week, true. I kind of don't mark it down in my diary. Dear diary, Bubba talked to me on a Tuesday. I don't kind of mark it that way, but it's always great to check in with you. Why don't you help people out? Because we're in that transition month of May where people have been here 4 to 6 years and they're moving on with their lives. But that also means people are moving into town, whether it's a new professor, teacher at Texas A&M. Also, a lot of freshmen are incoming. What in the wide world of sports is a BVMMA and Fitness?
Oh, this is a transient town. It is, every year everybody graduates. I see them for 2 years. They go on to Dallas, Houston, Austin, move on with their lives. But it's getting faster and faster. Sometimes people drop into Berlin or A&M for 6 months now. BVMMA and Fitness is a place where you can go, have a community to support you and to help you grow. We're growing in a lot of things, but we do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu primarily. We do have athletes, amateur and professional, that we will work with, but we mostly do casual Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in a competitive environment, and then do kickboxing. And we have a fitness area, got a whole gym, basically a CrossFit gym, but a DIY, do-it-yourself CrossFit gym. We don't run programs and workouts there. We just let you do your own thing, and it's available to parents. While the kids are training kickboxing, parents, while the kids are doing jiu-jitsu, it's available to athletes when they're, get done with kickboxing, go do their own fitness, or get done with jiu-jitsu and go do their own fitness. So a lot going on, a lot of programs. We're here 6 a.m., we're here 6 p.m., we're here at noon. There's class going on right now, jiu-jitsu. So a lot of things, about 60 classes a week. And then we have homeschool programs as well for kids that get done with school about noon and want to come in at 1 o'clock and work out during the day. So even the kids have multiple times every day.
So it is for people that want to fight. It is for people that want to CrossFit. It's for people that want to learn how to defend themselves, defend their loved ones, or they want their loved ones to learn how to defend themselves and defend their loved ones too. So BVMMA and Fitness, it's not kind of any one thing. It's just a lot of different things for a lot of different people, a lot of different goals.
Louie, it's for people who want to get in shape and know that a crash diet doesn't work and short changes don't work, but a lifestyle change will work. You take the focus and you put it off of the weight loss and you put it onto something new, a skill that you're developing. And then as you focus on advancing in that skill, you accidentally lose weight. It happens all the time. It's for people who want their kids to focus, to be a little more self-disciplined, to have a little bit more pain tolerance. And I don't mean that just physically, but emotionally, to be a little bit more tough, to let things bounce off of them. We worked yesterday with the kids on not receiving everything that's said to you. Some kids hear, hey, you're mean, or you're saying something, and they get so fixated on, I'm not saying that, or I'm not doing that. And they start to work themselves up. It's like, hey, that can bounce right off of you, okay? Just because someone says they beat you, you look at the scoreboard and you see what the score is. Does it make it true? No, it doesn't. So we work on all kinds of things, but kids that want to focus, kids that want to be a little more resilient, a little tougher. We do hard things here every day. It is not, it's not Planet Fitness. There's no free pizza, and there's no lunk alarm. So you will work hard, but it is self-paced for all the intro classes. And we absolutely do it at every level of the game. So, yeah, there are some professional fighters, but it's very few, 1% of the people training here. Most of the time, people are coming in for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 101, which is happening right now. College Town, got the college-themed class 101. You start there. This is a class where there are no simple enough questions. You cannot ask a question that is too simple. You come in and everything is for you as a brand new beginner that has no idea what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is. What does that mean? I've never done martial arts before. I've never done a combat sport before. I've never wrestled. Maybe I never played any sport before. What do I do here? How do I get better at self-defense? How do I get more confidence? How do I get more physically fit? And we start there. Then we have fundamentals classes for people who are done that, a little above that, and like, okay, I want to progress my learning a little bit. And then we have advanced classes, and then we have competition classes. So many different levels. So wherever you're at, we're going to meet you right there with a coach that can help you through it.
I know something else you do, and it's tied to summertime. And, well, we're transitioning, and summer's about to start. You guys at BVMMA and Fitness, located at the Post Oak Mall, you guys do these incredible week-long summer camps where parents are looking for something maybe constructive for their kids, something different for their kids, something affordable for their kids. And, well, you and your entire crew at BVMMA Fitness have something for the kids.
You're the man. Someone's been on the events page of the BVMMA website, bvmma.com. Yep, we got 4 camps this year, Lou. I do have something new. Okay, we got 4 camps, June 8th through the 12th. June 22nd through the 26th, July 13th through the 17th. Those are all summer camps. The kids learn a little bit of jiu-jitsu. They learn a little bit of kickboxing. They mostly have fun and burn off energy. We'll give them back to you at the end of the day exhausted. Okay?
What a deal.
Bring your own lunch. We're going to do Nerf Wars and Water Wars, and we're going to play games and do kickball, and we're going to learn a little bit of martial arts. Okay? That's hanging out with the kids all day long. Okay? Martial arts and crafts, little projects. We're also going to do a competition this year. So if you have kids who have ever trained in jiu-jitsu or wrestling and might want to dabble in that, I don't expect a whole lot of people. It's going to fit a whole lot of people. But if you do, we're going to do a competition camp. Okay? That's going to be July 27th.
So that's the last camp of the summer. The 4th camp, the last camp at the end of the summer, end of July. That's the competition camp.
That one is specific to competition wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So we're working on, we have personal trainers coming in for actual learning clean and jerks, learning specific movements and lifting and workouts. We're going to be working on wrestling. We're going to be working on leg locks with the children. We're going to be working on Brazilian jiu-jitsu, guard passing. So if you want your kid to actually compete or grow as a competitor, we have that as well. Again, that's a very, it's a small demographic out there. But
the first 3 camps is every kid, everyone. I love the name there, the martial
open
arts
to everybody.
and Crass. I really do. The name sums it up. And the martial arts part, nobody freak out. You don't have to buy any specialized gear. They don't need any training. It falls under the title of giving them back to you tired. Sure, they bring their own lunch. The rest of the supplies for anything that's going on is provided by BVMMA and Fitness. What time does it start each day, and what time do they have to pick up their kids?
Drop-offs anytime after 7:30 a.m., pickups no later than 4 p.m.
Okay.
Less than $200 for the week.
Think about that.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal deal, and obviously it's a great time for the kids.
So it's basically $40 a day for about 8 to 4.
8
That's
hours.
like 8 hours a daycare, so $10. I mean, it's yeah. And kids learn new skills. They make new friends. It's
$5
all day
an hour, Louie.
long. Yeah. What an incredible.
Yeah.
And it's something different. It's something new, and your kids are actually learning something of value. And yeah, it's the BVMMA and Fitness summer camps, and it's a week long. There's 4 of them. The first 3, same martial arts and crafts. The 4th one is a specialized camp. Where is this all on the website? Can everybody go check this out?
All on the website, BVMMA.com. There's an events tab right at the top. You can grab it.
BVMMA.com. Click the events tab. And if you go to the website, phone number, email addresses, go get more information. Set up your free, intro class if you want. BVMMA.com. More schedules, BVMMA.com. What time are they open? BVMMA.com. More information, BVMMA.com. Life is simple. That's why websites were created. BVMMA.com. Anything else we need to know you got going on during this transition, as spring is definitely over and summertime is staring us in the face? Because I got in my car yesterday and burnt my hand on the steering wheel.
Hey, it's nothing too specific to us, but in case anyone wants to, we do have a friend he came from Cabo San Lucas, friend of a black belt I know, or son of the black belt I know, a friend of mine. He's been training with us for a few weeks, and he's fighting this Sunday in Houston for Fury Fight. They're, the biggest promotion feeding the UFC currently today. Took over in the area as the regional scene when LFC moved into LFA, and he's fighting for him. So professionally, Damian Herrera, if anybody wants to go watch him, look him up online. Fury Fights this Sunday. Friend of ours fighting. So good luck to him. And it's out there if you want to see kind of someone who's training locally and doing big things.
I say congrats and good luck. And even before you said, Fury, that's big time, man. That's the step below the UFC. That's big boy fighting.
They are the biggest feeder of the UFC that I know of right now.
I never get to ask you this, Bubba. By the way, we're visiting with Bubba Bush of BVMMA and Fitness. He joined us on the D4 Land Services Hotline. Bubba, a friend of the Louie Bellina Show, friend to our community, and small animals, too. He's a friend to everybody, basically. He's that kind of guy. What goals do you have slash BVMMA and Fitness? Because I know how you work, and, you got goals. You always believe in self-improvement, and you got goals for the gym.
Yeah, so over the summer, everything's going to slow down a little bit, okay? Our goals are to bring people in and get them into 101 where we can meet them where they're at. Make sure that no one is overwhelmed, that no one is scared of the next opportunity, that everyone knows what they're working on and what they're working towards. So we do this 3 times a year, and then we train up from there. We say, hey, no question is too small here. Let's get you settled, and then progress. So by the end of the summer, right now, June, working up to end of July, end of August, we're going to have an in-house tournament. I'm going to say, here, try your skills out. In-house with other members, maybe from the morning class, maybe from the noon class, and just try it, see where you're at. So we like to give that kind of competition-minded goal on the horizon. So you're working towards something. And again, when I talked about weight loss, it's great to get in there and say, I'm not getting up every day and saying, where am I at in my weight loss plan? What am I not eating today? How long am I spending on the treadmill? I'm getting up every day and saying, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu today, and I'm going to get better at passing guard. I'm going to get better at getting someone off of me. I'm going to get better at controlling someone else and not letting them control me. And then when that focus happens, you get in a month or two, you're working towards that competition you're thinking about the whole time. And all of a sudden you look down at the scale and you say, I got to weigh in for this tournament. It's like, 20 pounds down. That happened. Because it focuses your whole life around a goal, a smart goal, an external goal that's a specific time, a specific goal. And so find that help. So our goal for the summer is definitely to get focused and get ready for that in-house tournament at the end of the summer and make sure that everyone is met where they're at. When they come in, it's not throw you into a pile of people. It's specifically what do you need, where are you at, and how are you going to get there.
Go to BVMMA.com. Find out more about the summer camps. Give your kids something awesome and something for you affordable and something different to do. BVMMA.com. There's 4 summer camps, 2 in June, 2 in July, and they start first week in June. Be ready to go. BVMMA.com. And for more information, phone numbers, emails, everything you need to know. Bubba, thank you always, brother. Man, it's been like 7 months since I visited with you, so it was great to catch up.
Hey, pleasure talking to you every day of the week, Louie.
Be awesome, brother.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Bubba Bush. It's good to check in with him. Again, we check in with Bubba. We check in with Elton Ward. We check in with these people, friends of mine, and it's always a good time. I got to go. They make me. Astros baseball pregame joined in progress here on the Zone. Astros baseball brought to you by Kelly Bertdozer. Tomorrow is Friday, and Friday on the Zone. Listen in. We'll hear what Coach Michael Early, interim baseball head coach, says after the game tonight, Game 1 against Mississippi State. Tricia Ford is meeting with the media. I don't know if it's now or about to, but she'll preview the upcoming College Station Regional. Bryce Jones, barbecue pitmaster inside the Charles Schwab studio. Noon till 1, the entire hour. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab, which means Mark Sim, he's our local Charles Schwab representative. But Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients. They offer personalized guidance and clarity. Personalized. Mark Sim, right here in College Station. Get answers to your questions. Learn more at schwab.com/College Station. I got to go. I'm back tomorrow at 11. Be amazing. Have an awesome Thursday.